Hey, it's Jeff with Barbecue Plus, and we cooked up some fantastic ribs. And these are party ribs. We did them on the Kamado charcoal grill. These are fall off the bone tender. They are fantastic. Sweet, juicy. Smoke on here is great. I love doing ribs over charcoal. Show you just how we made these. So I'm a big fan of party ribs, and I'm also a big fan of this guy, the Kamado Joe. That thing does a great job. I love the taste of using charcoal. So we're gonna kick up some party ribs. I did some of these last weekend and they turned out great. You're gonna love these. It's a great appetizer, a main dish, whatever the case you wanna be. These are just your basic baby backs. This was one that was left over from a package of 3 that I picked up from Costco. So what we're going to do to start this out is we're going to cut these apart. This is a little bit different than what you might normally do with ribs, where you cook them whole as a rack and then turn around and cut them up afterwards. A couple of things that this gives you is, one, it allows the rub to go on all sides. So it not only gets the back, which has got a membrane, and the front, but it gets both sides. So really gives a good chance for that. There we go. These guys are all cut up and ready for some seasoning. So I didn't plan ahead very well. Used all my big aluminum pans. So I'm using a Weber catch pan for this. So hey, it'll all turn out fine. We're just gonna throw some of the rub on there on all sides. We'll season them over at the top here, so that way any excess just falls down on the ribs below. Love the honey hog. This is a meat church rub. I think it tastes really great. Does a great job on ribs. Nice and sweet. It's kind of a brown sugar forward, and I really enjoy it. There we go. Those guys are all seasoned up. I did start the Kamado Joe with charcoal. I'm using a B&B charcoal. I got that fired up by using this cool flamethrower type of gas torch, and that seems to work really good to get it going. Then what I used also on there, and then to fan it up, I used a leaf blower that had just a section of it. It had like a longer nose, and that is not being used right now, so I just use that to fan those flames and really get them going. Then on half of it I put in pizza stones. So I'm going to end up with half of this being kind of indirect and the other half being more of a direct. We'll start them out on the direct side, and then we'll move it over to the indirect probably as this cook goes. Then at the end, after we hit 175 degrees, we're going to take and put them inside of here, add some apple juice and some barbecue sauce, and finish them up in kind of a braising liquid there. These will turn out great. Let's go over to the Kamado and put them on. We're going to try to set them in here meat side down if they don't roll too much. We're going to get some nice smoke all the way around on here. Again, we're not doing very many. This is just a single rack. But this will be a nice little dinner for us tonight. We're right about 45 minutes in. We're running just under 300 degrees, probably about a 280 or so on the Kamado. Let's check in and take a look at these. Looking good. They're sweating out. They're cooking up nicely. I did probe in for temps with my Thermal Pro, and we're running about 165 to 172. I like to be about 175 on these before we go ahead and put them inside that braising liquid. And the reason for that is I want to get as much smoke on as possible. You don't get any more smoke after about 175 degrees anyway. It's not going to penetrate. So we want to get that full amount in there, and then we're going to put them in the braising liquid and give them probably a couple hours at that 280 or so, just sub 300 to finish those off. They're going to be fall apart wonderful on there. The meat church rub is going to be fantastic. It adds a lot of nice sweetness to it. Really enjoy this with what the charcoal does on that Kamado. These party ribs are just fantastic. Again, we did them last weekend and everybody just fell head over heels for them. I think one of my grandsons ate like 8 or 10 of those things by himself. So that's a good vote of confidence. So next step is going to be to put those in the braising liquid inside these little pans, seal them up, and let them finish out. So in preparation for that, I'm going to take these 2 little pans that I've got. We're going to take those and put them inside here, and then I'm going to add this braising liquid. What the secret braising liquid is, happens to be 3 little bottles of Mott's apple juice and some barbecue sauce. So if you want it super spicy, go with a super spicy barbecue sauce. If you want a little bit mild, you can tone it down with just a standard fair barbecue sauce. But whatever you want to do, just allows you to be able to dial it in to what your preferences are or the people that you're serving food to. So we're going to take half of this, put it in each one. Good, I'm going to set them inside here since I do have extra room because we want that braising liquid to get warmed up a little bit. So these guys are temping out still about 170, 172. We're going to bring the temperature of that braising liquid up a little bit, and then we're just going to move them over, add some aluminum foil on top of it, and then let them ride out until they're finished, which should be probe tender, which will be around 200 degrees or so. All right, so we're going to make a little check here, find out what the temperature is on these. The braising liquid is steaming, so we're up to temperature on that. These guys are running about 180 degrees or so, so I think it's time to start moving them over. We want to take these meat side down and try to get them as much as possible so that is in the middle of the liquid. We're just going to finish with these, moving them on over into that nice juicy braising liquid. I'm going to move these to the middle here, got them side by side. And now we're just going to take this aluminum foil, cover those tightly, and we're going to button them back up. So this last step could be done anywhere. You don't have to do it in your grill. You could actually do it in your oven because you're not introducing any more smoke or anything. You're just bringing up some temperature to be able to finish cooking those in that braising liquid. So with this, I'm up to temperature already with that grill, so I might as well just let the rest of the charcoal burn and finish the cook on this right where it is. And I did want to mention, if you find that this is beneficial, if you're learning a lot from watching my videos, I'd sure appreciate it. Hit that subscribe, give it a like, make some comments in there. If you've got some friends that are into barbecue, share it with them. Really helps me because YouTube understands that it's more valuable content and beneficial content if you comment on it, if you share it, if you like it, and if you subscribe to it. So if you do that for me, I'd really appreciate it. We will check back in probably about an hour, hour and a half and see where those are at. Really what we're looking for at this point is to put that probe in there and find that there's almost no resistance whatsoever. You're pushing it into a stick of butter. If you're doing this for a party, this is the point when you can go and enjoy your friends, make a nice beverage, and sit back and enjoy hanging out with folks while these finish up. Take a little peek in there. That is looking very nice. We're getting some good bubbling on there. All those ribs are down inside the liquid. Coming along nicely. All right, it's that time that we've all been waiting for. Time to get these guys off of the Kamado and bring them out here, open them up and give a little taste test. All right, let's open them up. It's looking good so far. Let's hit these with a probe. Oh, it goes in there just like butter into those ribs. Now by this time we've probably rendered out just about all of the fat that's in there because they've cooked for so long. So these are going to be really lean. They should be kind of a fall off the bone. Look at that for tenderness. Yeah, they don't get much more tender than this. That is a nice pile of mouth-watering ribs. So here we go. We're going to go in on the taste of these. That is fall off the bone tender. These are fall off the bone tender. They are juicy. They are sweet. These are just fantastic. If you make these are going to be an absolute home run. Nobody is going to complain about these. This is the second time I've made these in a week. I think they just keep getting better and better. Love cooking over charcoal. I think it gives it a great taste to it. And by finishing them off in that braising liquid, it just makes them super tender. And you don't have to worry about timing. These have probably been done for 45 minutes or an hour, and they stay right where they're supposed to because I've only got the grill at this point at about 160, 170 degrees. So we're not cooking them anymore. We're just making them more tender. Hey, if this inspires you, I've got a ton of different videos on different main courses, appetizers, even desserts that you can cook out on your barbecue, whether it's your Kamado, your pellet grill, whatever it is. Just make sure you figure out what you're going to cook in your backyard this weekend. And from Barbecue Plus, thanks for watching.